Well, since our last conversation, really, with everyone together like this, and there's a lot that's happened in Asheville and in the life of our church. It was quite a week last Thursday. What, 700 and something people?
Yeah, we're just so thankful to have been able to be a part of Prayer in Action, us gathering in solidarity with peace and justice, and we're so thankful to folks like Al Whitesides, who helped bring the group together, and what he said, and Reverend Grant and Reverend Ray, and our mayor, Quinn Miller, our sheriff. So thankful for everybody that participated and got to be a part of that and got to stand up for anti-racism.
It was pretty special. I know Luke and I shared this feeling to see some of you that we haven't seen, even though we were looking at each other through masks
And trying to stay.
But to actually be face to face with people we haven't seen in months that was special too.
It was, and one of the things that continued this past Sunday was the theme for our week in worship this past week, and Rob's sermon and what Ann talked about in children's time or music. We continue the theme to respond and demonstrate that, like Rob said in his sermon, there's nothing that you said this, there's nothing you think that's more antithetical to the shalom of God than racism. And we hope that if you haven't had a chance to listen to last week's service or see it, please check it out on our YouTube page. Something else that's there that's really incredible is Chris Bainbridge, our very own Chris Bainbridge, was at the rally last week, and he videoed the whole thing and put about a 10-minute video together. And if you hadn't had a chance to see that, wow, just Chris did such a great job. So thankful for his work in capturing that moment that's important for us to show our solidarity for the movement and anti-racism.
I think our records show several thousand hits or visits to that
video already from Chris. It's pretty incredible. So please check that out if you haven't had a chance to look at it yet. We'd love for you to see that. One of the questions that we've had is the continued question of reopening.
Yes. Yeah. So what we're doing at this point is we're following our conference guidelines. Our bishop and cabinet that have asked us to stay right where we're at in terms of particularly gathering inside and doing full worship through the 30th of June. But last Tuesday, our entire staff meeting was really devoted to looking at what might happen, what could be the first steps. Mm-hmm. And at this point, we don't have a lot to say except we're just kind of looking at all the possibilities from small groups to maybe an outside service. We'll announce it, but right now we just want you to let's keep working together and worshiping in the way we've been worshiping at least through June.
Mm-hmm. And please know that, please continue to let us know when there's things going on with your family, emergencies, hospitals, that kind of thing. Because we're not in the hospitals like normal, in places like Givens and other places, we don't know about these things as much as we normally would. So please continue to reach out to us and let us know about those needs and concerns.
And we're still moving forward. I look at what is going to happen the rest of June. I'm very excited about some of the worship.
I am too. It's going to be great. The 21st. Yes. So let's talk about the 21st.
So one of the conversations, that's one thing about the pandemic. We've had more time to sit around and reflect and to look at where we've been and where we're going. And one thing that became something clear that we wanted to celebrate was the number of people over the last decade or so that have come out of Central and have entered the ministry of the United Methodist Church. It's very dynamic.
It's really incredible. That's a testament to you all and your love for each other and folks in the congregation. And so on June 21st, our entire service is going to be led by some of the folks that have come out of Central. And why I say some is that there's so many folks that have come out and responded to a call to ministry that not all those folks are able to participate. But we're already thinking about doing another service in the future. So on the 21st, we're going to have folks who have responded to their call, leading us in worship. It's going to be really, really dynamic, really exciting, and super excited that Joy Moss is going to be our preacher for that day.
Right. So hope that you'll do everything you can and plan to be a part of that worship. And then the 28th has grown out of conversations we've had about our concern about how all of us are navigating this. What has this created in terms of fear, anxiety? What are the most real and pressing issues in our families and our lives? And we invited a very skilled person from our church to help be a part of our conversation.
So on the 28th, Lynn Cruz, who's a member of our church, a psychologist, and is going to come and be in a conversational sermon with me and Rob about the effects of everything we've been experiencing as a community and how we work through that, both theologically and then some practical things around mental health and that kind of work. One of the things that we're doing next week as a staff in response and in thinking about that is next week, the 15th through the 19th, our staff and our offices will be closed, and we're giving the staff a week of Sabbath, a week to rest and recharge. Please know that if you have an emergency or if you need us for any reason, don't hesitate to call or email. We will be checking those periodically through the week. But in order for our staff to take care of themselves and to be the best staff they can be at Central, we think it's really important, in working with Staff Parish, I think it's really important that we have this time for our staff next week. The nice thing for us is it falls on a week that we normally are not, many of us are here because it's normally annual conference week, and so it's a pretty typical slow week for our church and the church year. But we're not slowing down. It just means we're resting in order to recharge.
I'm very grateful. I keep feeling the energy of Central, even though we're not all together in the same room. I can sense the prayers, the collective willingness to keep serving and figuring out what it means to be the church in these days. And thank you for being who you are. And we're on a journey together. I hope you'll be with us Sunday morning.